What? What's going on? Hey everyone, Henry Yellow here. Welcome back. Right now we are going to watch She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and I'm wearing a yellow shirt, kind of. The movie stars John Wayne, and I see some familiar faces such as Harry Carey Jr. He was also in Three Godfathers as William Kearney, and then there's John Agar and Victor McLaglen. They were also in Fort Apache. I wonder if this movie is similar to Fort Apache. I'm sure it's set in the same time period anyway. If you'd love to see my full reaction to this movie, go and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. There are also many movie reactions that are not available on YouTube. And if you enjoy my videos on YouTube, then go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications because I have so many more movies that I plan to watch and I hope we can watch it together. But for now, are you ready to watch this movie with me? Let's go. I swear I've heard this song before.
Custer is dead, and around the bloody guidon of the immortal 7th Cavalry lie 212 officers and men. By military telegraph, news of the Custer massacre is flashed.
Oh, so this is after Fort Apache, right?
10,000 Indians, Kiowa, Comanche, Arapaho, Sioux, and Apache are uniting in a common war against the United States cavalry.
A runaway carriage.
Looks like we ain't gonna get paid for another 3 months.
Good morning, sir. And a lovely day it is, sir. Colder than blazes. The stagecoach run from here to Sooty Wells has been discontinued. Private Mackenzie's got his stout shot.
Is he dead?
Yes, sir.
You got a breath on you like a hot mince pie.
He caught him
Oh, Captain
Teach
Darling.
me where you hide this stuff.
in your very own room. Victor McLaglen always plays a similar booze-loving character.
6 more days and I retire.
Here we are in our prime, and they're turning us out to pasture. It's an abuse of the taxpayers' money, I called it,
The
sir.
only tax you ever paid was a whiskey tax. Ready?
Ready, sir.
They were marching synchronized.
It's not Kiowa,
No, and it's not Comanches nor Arapahoes either.
but look at the clan mark on this arrow. It's a sign of the dog. That arrow came from the bow of a Southern Cheyenne dog soldier.
And a dog walks by in the background.
Lieutenant, the post is closed. Sorry to spoil your outing, Miss Dandridge.
Oh, come on, Flint. Don't be a spoil sport.
That's exactly what he is. Because I wouldn't trust you to take me on a picnic last Sunday. Now you're hazing Mr. Pinnell.
You touch those reins and I'll slap you in the guardhouse.
You wouldn't dare.
Someone placing you under arrest, Miss Dandridge?
Lieutenant Cohill has made up his mind that Lieutenant Pinnell hasn't rank enough to be seen in my company.
For what purpose did you wish to leave the post, Mr. Pinnell?
Picnicking, sir.
Picnicking? Where, in St. Louis?
Just out by the waterfall, but I'm sorry.
Never apologize, mister. It's a sign of weakness. Mr. Cohill was quite right in denying you permission to leave the post under the present emergency. You may proceed with your picnic, Mr. Pinnell.
When you figuring on holding your picnic, Ross? Delmonico's in New York about 2 months from now with Olivia on my arm. I won't be wearing any blue suit either, bub.
There's no point going picnicking without Miss Dandridge. Oh, his whole family.
Only 6 more days to go, and your old Nathan will be out of the army. Somehow, I just can't picture myself rocking in a front porch. Maybe push on west, new settlements, California. I'm to pick up the patrols and drive 'em on back north. Probably be my last mission, all right? Hard to believe, isn't it?
It was a very nice setting sun background.
5 more.
3 more.
5 more.
3 more.
5 more, can't you count?
3 more weeks before I retire, sir.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Captain Darling.
don't apologize.
It's a sign of weakness.
Ready?
Ready, sir.
What's this?
Order of Major Alsert, sir.
There's no wagon goes on this patrol.
Orders, sir.
What in blazes?
Hold it. I know the wagon. Nathan, I'm sending my wife and her niece with you. They'll go with the troop as far as Sudrow's Wells, and they'll take the stage east from there.
I wish to protest that order.
Put it in writing.
I intend to. There is a party of Cheyenne dog soldiers raiding this territory.
I'm really noticing the dogs now because they say that the clan mark of the dog represents the Southern Cheyenne.
Now there's going to be women with this column, and I want you men to watch them words.
What's them grammar?
Whose dog is this? Nice dog. Irish setter.
So cute.
Hate to hamstring you this way, Nathan, but you will take every precaution.
Mac.
Oh, forget it. Sorry I mentioned it.
As you were, Hawkbauer.
Abby, that is a dead blastedest outfit I ever did see. Quinn Cannon's old britches.
Yes.
Queen Cannon? That reminds me of The Verdict.
So, Ross has branded you with his yellow ribbon.
How do you know it isn't for you, mister?
I'd be very happy if I thought it were for me.
Good morning. A yellow ribbon, Miss Dandridge? Do you know what that means in the cavalry? A sweetheart. Who's it for?
Why, for
Okay.
you, of course, Captain Bridger.
For me.
A yellow ribbon.
I hope you're wearing that yellow ribbon for me, Olivia.
Why, who else would I be wearing it for, Ross?
Is she playing two people at once? The dog is still there. Can somebody check on the dog? Is it okay? Cavalry, cavalry.
Trailed Mr. Render's buckboard southeast, sir.
You suppose they were doing that far south?
Well, that ain't my department.
Hopefully those guys, Mr. Rinders, isn't a spy. Even the dogs followed them.
Romantic, isn't it, Miss Dandridge? Bronze men lustily singing, horses prancing, bunions aching.
Must you always be so vulgar, Mr. Cohill?
Why don't you ride in a wagon?
Why doesn't the Army put springs in its wagons?
Greens and milk. Oh, the Army.
The wagon does not seem comfortable.
Haven't you already thrown enough dust in Pennell's eyes? Why don't you give him a chance?
Mr. Cohill, relieve Mr. Pennell with a rear guard.
Yes, sir.
They look like Arapaho, sir.
Now, why would they be moving on Sudrow's Wells, Sergeant? Answer me that.
My mother didn't raise any sons to be making guesses in front of Yankee captains, sir.
We're turning east, gentlemen. Give them a wide berth.
But we'll lose a half a day that way, sir. The ladies may miss the stage, sir.
Would you rather have them miss their scalps, sir?
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh,
I didn't-
shut up.
Don't apologize. It's a sign of weakness. Very beautiful.
So the Lieutenant Pennell is still gonna resign.
You forget, Bub, that I don't have to depend on cavalry pay.
I had forgotten your silver spoon. But I'll bet Miss Olivia Dandridge hasn't. Not for a minute. Why don't you take your hooks out of Ross Pennell? He's got the makings of a fine officer. Ross is a spoiled, rich kid, and the Army's his only chance. Leave him alone.
So many.
Buffalo, Mr. Cohill.
Yes, sir.
Aye, that's a lot of buffalo. It reminds me of the old days. When whiskey was 50 cents a gallon.
What you're thinking, Sergeant? Don't tell me it ain't your department.
If I was a young hot blood like Red Shirt, I'd be down there with one of them council fires tonight telling them that I was the one that made the medicine that brought back the buffalo. Join our Cheyenne brothers, drove out the rest of them Yankee soldiers.
But if I was an Indian agent, maybe named Mr. Rinders, ready to do a land office business and repeating rifles. Proceed at your best pace to Sudrow's Wells. Have them hold the stagecoach for the ladies.
Yes, sir.
They seem slow, but they can run real fast.
Ladies, career! First two sets of fours, forward! Sound recall.
What is the horse doing? Oh, there's a lot of them.
Shoot over their heads!
Shoot over their heads. He doesn't intend to kill any of them. Well, of course, he doesn't want to aggravate them because they're outnumbered.
He jumped us at sundown.
It was Richard himself, Captain.
Shut up, McCarthy! Quiet in the ranks. I'm making this report.
Easy, Mike, easy.
Made it to the relief point, but you weren't there, sir.
I wanted to be there, Corporal. Show on your record. You come up with that extra stripe in 2 or 3 years.
Thank you, sir.
Same ones that killed them Yankee soldiers with General Custer.
Oh, you better run. They can really chase a far distance, and it's hard to escape in such a wide open area.
Easy, boy. Let's go.
Jump. Woo. Nice.
Now head's right over Queen's heart, Nathan. It's got to come out. Can you halt?
You know I can't.
20 minutes for a man's life.
Doctor, I couldn't give you 5 minutes. Not if it was my own son. I'll give you all I can. Troop up!
Wait, was this Doctor the priest in the Frontier movie with Henry Fonda? I wonder how they made the streaks of lightning.
All right, down it goes. Oh, easy, my... Here it is, Nathan. Let's go back.
Tailed man, how is he?
I think I can safely say he'll live to make sergeant.
That's good.
Quain's doing fine! Prepare him out! Thanks, soldier.
So happy about Corporal Quain.
What's it mean to you whether he lives or dies? Did you ever dance with him back at the fort? You're glad about Quain, certain. But only because it puts the happy ending to the stories you'll take back east to your tea parties. Now you can tell them you've seen it all.
Mr. Cofield.
That should make your tour just about perfect.
Mrs. Allshard's having a rough time back there, Miss Dandridge. Would you spell her for a while?
Certainly, Captain, and thank you.
Yeah, Cohill is doing too much.
Did anyone ever take down your britches and tan your hide?
My father, sir, for the strop.
Well, I'm just old enough to be your father, Bub. Take a point.
I wonder if they intentionally brought the dogs.
Women to the rear!
Women to the rear. Doesn't Captain...
Oh,
Biddle
shut
have
your gob! When he says back to the rear, go back to the rear, darling.
First 2 sets, forward!
I'm really glad to see you, Captain.
Sorry to be late, Tyree.
Law and Paul Sidros, sir.
Children see it?
No, sir. Found them hiding in the smokehouse.
It's lucky they got here on time to save them.
Don't bother about me, Captain. I'd like to commend the boy here for the way he handled this action. Captain Tyree.
Speak to him.
Yes, sir. Sir!
Afraid he can't hear you.
Why, Carrie Sue. Why, you came over and visited me at the fort, and we had a party. Do you remember?
I know all this is because of me. I wasn't Army enough to stay the winter.
Never to apologize. It's a sign of weakness.
Yes, but this was your last patrol, and I'm to blame for it.
Only the man who commands can be blamed. Well, we missed the stage, Miss Dandridge.
Well, what can they do now?
I commend to your keeping, sir, souls of John Sudrow and his wife, Martha. Trooper John Smith, United States Cavalry.
Ready? Aim. Fire! Loaded. Time.
Thank you, sir.
The old man says, don't ever apologize. It's a sign of weakness. But I'm sorry for everything I've said and done. Oh, honey, I love you so.
All right, Flint, let's get it over with. Pull your blouse. You've been green-eyed ever since she put on that yellow ribbon. You keep your paws off my girl. Let's step over to the corral.
I quite agree. Button your shirt, Mr. Pennell. 4 years out here and still acting like a wet-eared cadet on the Hudson. Mr. Cohill, it is a bitter thing indeed. The officer to whom I am surrendering command of this troop in 2 more days should have so little grasp of leadership. God help this troop when I'm gone.
Sir, it was...
You're at attention, Mr. Pennell. You get back to the troop area. Make the fullest show of bedding down for the night, and then we're sneaking out. Going back.
Sorry, Ross. I'm sorry, Flint.
Just saw our old friend, Mr. Renders, down there.
Mr. Renders, eh?
Selling guns to the Indians.
He saved $50. Too much. Tell that grandson of a horse thief that I know he's got the money from the paymaster's box. $50 on no rifle. Wasicha! Lakota Sicha!
Ooh. Yep. That could clearly happen. I was thinking Mr. Renders got guts. Since he's surrounded. But that guts killed him. Ooh. But now the Indians have the guns, they can attack.
Still figuring on resigning, mister?
No, sir.
The wagon is having a rough time.
Mr. Cohill, you will be in command. You'll take 2 squads, cover our crossing.
Second squad!
Second squad has too many old married men.
First squad! Fifth squad!
Can you swim, Dickie, me boy?
No.
Once I swam the English Channel with an anvil on my chest.
Sure you did.
Request permission to remain behind with the rear guard, sir.
Permission refused. Get back in that wagon, Quain.
Yeah, you need to sit back and heal. Nearly got shot in the heart. Oh, things are falling out. I half expected Quain to fall out too. Oh, no one's gonna help the dog cross the river. Thank goodness the river is not deep.
It's time for me to take me medicine.
Whiskey.
It tastes horrible.
You gotta buy me a long day.
And we'll do it, sir.
And I know you will, Flint. We'll get you out of here, son. Just hang on. We'll get you out of this pocket by noon tomorrow. Prepare him out! Kiss her back, blast you. We haven't got all day.
Guess that's how it is, Ross.
I understand. Forward!
So she chose Cohill. Earlier, it kind of seemed like she was playing Pennell and Cohill. They have to hold on for an entire day. That's very tough.
My duty to report mission of failure.
Fiddlesticks, Nathan Brittles, it was our fault.
Failed at Sudrow's. Failed to keep Render's rivals from the tribes. Leave the army a failure. I'll have Cohill out of that pocket by noon tomorrow.
Troop can't leave till dawn.
Dawn? Troop ought to pull out of here before midnight.
But young Pennell will need all the daylight he can find.
Pennell?
Aren't you forgetting that you retire from the army tomorrow, Captain?
Tomorrow's all I need, Mac. I can't leave Cohill facing those devils.
And young Pennell's got to learn to cross a river under fire. So did we. And Cohill's got to run his chances.
I guess you're right. Your permission, I'll quit the post tomorrow.
Permission granted, Captain.
I mean, they must learn, but you've got to save them.
Captain of a troop one day, every man's face turned towards you. Now tomorrow I'll be glad if the blacksmith asked me to shoe a horse.
Blast your eyes, Abby, if you start sniffling now. And as for you, young lady...
I'm not crying. I like to stand up and cheer.
So you're saying the moment they retire, they become nobodies. Everything he's built up for 40 years.
Did you sleep well, sir?
Didn't sleep at all. Sell all this stuff and put the money in a troop fund.
Well, how did it ever get there, sir?
How?
How long have you known it, sir?
Since the Second Battle of Bull Run, you thickhead. My retirement was an occasion for a drink, Sergeant. Help yourself.
No, I take no pleasure in it. But if it's an order, here's to your health.
But if it's an order, I can't help it.
I haven't had a drink since that day. I'm tempted to have one to your retirement.
No, sir. I'll do the honors for you.
Oh, thank you.
A suit?
Now, try it on. See how it looks. Men, I won't be going out with you. Wish you could. But I know your performance under your new commander will make me proud of you, as I've always been proud of you.
A small token from the troop. It's solid silver, sir. Brought on from Kansas City.
To Captain Brittles from C Troop. Lest we forget. Thank all of you. Take your troop, Mr. Pennell. Proceed on your mission. It's made for you, Quincannon. Have a couple of drinks while you're waiting.
Your uniform, Quincannon. I mean the proper uniform. The uniform of a retired gentleman.
Sergeant Quincannon is improperly dressed on duty, and he's under the influence. Throw him in a guardhouse.
What? What's going on?
There'll be a little drop of whiskey, and I'll pour it myself.
I want you to help me arrest Quincannon.
I'd love to throw that big wig in the cooler.
You're under arrest, Quincannon. Are you coming peaceably?
Laddie, I've never gone any place peaceably in my life.
What the heck? Why are they fighting each other?
Men, now we want no unpleasantness. A toast first to Captain Nathan Brittles.
To Captain Nathan Brittles.
I thank you, comrades. This has been a very pleasant moment.
He had to just get one more in.
Are you hurt, Hans? He's all right, Sarge.
It's like something out of a cartoon.
Wagner, come and join us.
No one's gonna trust you anymore. You just keep punching them.
What is the meaning of this? To the guardhouse, Quincannon. Quick, set, march. Aren't you ashamed? 8 of you picking on one poor man.
What? Who's picking on who?
10 days in the guardhouse and no charges. Can't you make it 2 weeks, Mac, till he retires? He'll retire as top soldier. Thanks, Mac.
In the Kiowa village, the beat of the drums echoes in the pulse beat of the young braves. All chant of war. War to drive the white man forever from the red man's hunting ground. Only the old men stand silent.
Captain Brittles, glad to see you, sir.
And I you, sir.
We effected the relief as ordered, sir. No casualties.
No casualties.
800 or 900 of them, and they're getting ready to strike.
For the next 4 hours, according to my brand new silver watch and chain, I'm an officer in the United States Cavalry. I'll remain here. Take no action till I return. If I don't, those are your orders. Don't lose them.
Is he going to negotiate?
Locate the pony herd. You ever scared, Captain Tyree? Up to and including now.
Hey, Nathan! Nathan! Hallelujah!
Oh, wait, it's him? I think he was in the Frontier movie, right? Because I remember him saying hallelujah.
Only that walks, my heart is sad at what I see. Your young men painted for war, their scalp knives red. We must stop this war.
Too late, Nathan. The young men do not listen to me. We are too old for war.
Yes, we are too old for war. But old men should stop wars.
Too late. Too late. My brother, go in peace.
Pass the word. Mount. Pass the word. Mount. Pass the word. Mount.
Oh. They're going to drive all their horses away?
Can you read the time by my brand new silver watch?
12 minutes to midnight, sir.
Yeah.
He loves that watch.
Sound the charge.
The dog leads the way. Now they've lost their horses, they can't go to war. I think some soldiers definitely got shot.
No casualties, sir.
Really? None?
Please, no Indian war.
That's a miracle.
Can you read what time it is by my brand new silver watch?
2 minutes past midnight, sir.
Settled the whole thing in less than 15 minutes.
Been a civilian for 2 minutes. It's your army, Mr. Cohill. Good luck.
Westward toward the setting sun, which is the end of the trail for all old men. But the army hadn't finished with Nathan Brittles.
Captain Brittles! For you, sir, from the Yankee War Department.
Dad blasted, I knew it. What? It's my appointment. Chief of Scouts, with the rank of Lieutenant Colonel.
So they appointed him again.
Welcome home, Colonel Darling.
You'll be surprised to know that Miss Dandridge and I are going
Why,
to be...
son, I knew it all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Oh, I just noticed a lot of the girls are wearing yellow ribbons. Tongue twister. Yellow ribbons.
Men in dirty shirt blue, and only a cold page in the history books to mark their passing. But wherever they rode, that place became the United States.
Even on the day of retirement, Captain Brittles still went to try and help his soldiers. At first, I thought the movie would end after Captain Brittles walked out of the fort. Then we would never know, we would never find out what happened with the other soldiers. It's a good thing they didn't leave us with a vague ending, and they gave us a good ending. Through his effort and smart strategy, Captain Brittles was able to avoid a big war and save many lives. I'm surprised there were no casualties at all when they rushed the horses out of the Indian camp, and there were no casualties, even though, who was it, Collins had to defend the place for a whole day. There were actually a few other people in the cast which I recognized after I saw them in the movie. I didn't realize they were part of the cast. Some of the music sounded quite familiar. I don't know if the music we heard when we see the Indians, I wonder if it's also used in other John Ford movies, such as Fort Apache or Jumps Along the Mohawk or Stagecoach. It's the music that appears when we see that, there are Indians. I can't tell if it's the same music that they use all the time, but it definitely sounded familiar. It seems like this movie and Fort Apache used two of the same songs. They are traditional and folk songs. She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, obviously, and The Girl I Left Behind Me. Fort Apache uses the same one. She wore a yellow ribbon. And also The Girl I Left Behind Me. That must be the one that goes. That's why I thought it sounded very familiar. At the beginning of the movie, when they pointed out the clan mark on the arrow they found, and they said that it was the sign of the dog. Starting from there, I started noticing all the dogs in the movie, such as the dog that literally walked past behind them, and then all the dogs that followed them on the patrol. I thought the dogs would help them spot an enemy or attack the enemy, or something will happen related to the dogs. But turns out nothing happened with the dogs, so I was just overthinking it. What is the meaning of a yellow ribbon? Does it really mean that the woman wears it to show that she has a sweetheart? In the context of the song, the yellow ribbon is meant to symbolize a sweetheart or a loved one waiting for their partner to return home, particularly in a military context where it signifies support for a soldier deployed overseas. The yellow ribbon gained widespread recognition as a symbol of support for troops during the Vietnam War, where families would tie yellow ribbons around trees to show their hope for the safe return of their loved ones. It appears there is some truth in that, but the Vietnam War is in the future, so we have to go further back into the past. The song is based on a Western story where the woman wearing the yellow ribbon is waiting for her husband, a cavalry officer, to return from duty. There is a 19th century practice that some women allegedly wore a yellow ribbon in their hair to signify their devotion to a husband or sweetheart serving in the US cavalry. The song, "Round Her Neck She Wears a Yeller Ribbon," tracing back centuries and copyrighted by George Norton in 1917, later inspired the John Wayne movie She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. It's true that the yellow ribbon symbolizes what I've been reading in the past few minutes, but this was in the future, in the 20th century. Does a yellow ribbon really symbolize the same thing back in the 19th century? The word allegedly kind of shows that, it's an uncertainty. Anyways, I am not going to dive into this rabbit hole because I was just curious to find out about the yellow ribbon and its meaning. There's no need to mention about the basic cinematography. There are beautiful landscapes, great background, nice views, very similar to Fort Apache. I'm not surprised because Fort Apache was released in 1948 and then this movie was released 1 year after. In Fort Apache, some exteriors were filmed in Monument Valley, Utah. The fort and trading post were filmed at the Corriganville Movie Ranch in Southern California. She Wore a Yellow Ribbon was also filmed in Monument Valley, Arizona, and Utah, which included large areas of the Navajo Reservation. Most filming took place around the Golding Trading Post. The big difference between Fort Apache and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon is that She Wore a Yellow Ribbon was John Ford's first Technicolor Western filmed in Monument Valley. All the black and white that we watched in Fort Apache, it finally got colored in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. I was able to enjoy it much better because I was able to enjoy the colors, the bright, vibrant colors of the beautiful background. The movie was more about Captain Brittles than it was about the woman who wore a yellow ribbon, but that's how it is with movie titles and movies. It's not the most important thing. I'm glad Captain Brittles got reappointed and he's able to continue doing what he does best, what he's familiar with, rather than traveling west and then fading into obscurity, because he's all alone. He lost his wife and he lost his children. I don't know how it happened, but the soldiers at the post, they became his family, and I'm glad he was able to continue staying there, guiding the young ones with his 40 years of experience. Then there's Victor McLaglen, who is the comic relief just like in Fort Apache. What do you think of the movie? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching it with me. I hope you enjoyed my reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.